Hello and good morning. Thank you for tuning in on this nice cold morning here in Kettering. EPIC44, powered by Intel, brought to you by our sponsors Asus, ROG, and the Overclockers. I am once again joined by my boy, Mr. One Wing. It's been a bit of a minute, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's been a bit of a while. We didn't
I
we
miss
didn't
you,
we
man.
didn't we didn't have one together yesterday.
Yeah.
So I was watching your late night shift there with Tyler on the graveyard shift.
Oh dear, do we even bring that up? I think we should. If my eyes do look a little bit delirious, it is because of that insanely late Beer 3 that ran through the midnight.
Yeah, into
What
the
a series
early
that was, by the
hours.
way.
A great series to watch from a spectator. I was watching from production, and we were all just having an absolute blast watching it. So, but obviously, part of the parcel of that was we had a late night. But so
Mmm,
did CAD, and they've got to
huge.
be really on it today because they are going up against, rather surprisingly, Alaska,
Who would have thought?
falling to 8 sins in the upper bracket final and down into the lower. They have not locked their spot in the final yet, and they are, by many people's metric, the number one seed in this tournament.
I couldn't agree more, and you had the absolute pleasure of actually casting that insane game. I was tuning in every once in a while. How was it experiencing that insane upset?
Yeah, the 8 sins game. I was watching it from production once again, like sheep and wax, and casting it. Like afterwards, they could not believe what was happening. I
Mmm,
was speaking to them; they were in shock. Speaking to the 8 sins players afterwards, I
yeah.
think even they were in shock. I didn't get the chance to talk to Alaska afterwards, but
Mm.
yeah, you can imagine they will be bitterly disappointed with that. And now, as punishment for failing to close out that series, you're up here 9 a.m. first thing in the morning, and you've got to go straight into this game.
Of course, I couldn't agree more, and I think now is a pretty good time to just quickly look at the brackets and just see how the story has unfolded here at Epic 44 because it's honestly been such a journey, especially for our first time. I mean, and this is an insane matchup. As you can see, Alaska was the first one to, punch a blow to CAD with a nice little 2-0, and Cat had to make the long journey through the lower bracket wing.
Yeah, CAD will be looking to get revenge on Alaska. That 2-0 defeat in the opening round of playoffs, it summoned them to run the lower bracket gauntlet,
Insane
and they have
run.
had a really difficult run. Obviously, starting off after that defeat to Alaska, he came up against Proc Fan Club, a team that if in that UKCS interview I predicted to be my dark horse. So,
Okay, okay.
it was never going to be that easy. But then you got teams like TLR,
Mm.
Antarctica, Dusty. These are difficult games, and you've had a lot of CS to play recently. Alaska played 2 games yesterday.
Yep.
CAD had to go through 4.
Insane.
And obviously, with that late finish, fatigue is going to be a factor for CAD.
You can imagine Alaska just had an early night, unless, Epic called and they had a nice little late nighter. But you can assume, especially with how much is on the line, we have to remember VRS is in play. And if it's going to be anybody who's going to be wanting to steal that, it is Alaska.
I think Alaska are going to be taking this more seriously than any other team in the tournament just because they know what is at stake. The VRS award you get for LAN events in the new Valve rankings,
Mm.
it's quite significant, and for a team definitely looking to expand their horizons and get new invites and new events and boost their way up the rankings, this could be very critical for Alaska in particular.
Well, with that being said, we need to obviously talk about some of the players. Who should we have our keen eye on CAD, let's say? Because obviously, late night, will they be able to replicate the performances from all of yesterday today at 9 a.m.?
Yeah, I think you're the person really.
I
Obviously,
was there. I was there. You're not wrong. Obviously, I think there are so many different players. You had Z, Nan, and Onder was actually the one who was top rated in that game, 1.39. And obviously, we got the little Vitos to have a nice little gander at. Instantly with the nuke ban. Not a surprise after Dusty just completely pummeled him. It was Storm Pandas just lighting up the server. So shout outs to them. Dust 2 ban, fair enough. First map Mirage, we got a bit of an Aimer's Paradise, followed up by Train. We got the Pop Dog coming out, and an Ancient finale if we make it. Do we go all the way?
I don't know, and I'm not too entirely convinced. I think CAD previously have altered which map they ban first. But
Hmm.
I think banning Nuke, you just got pretty destroyed by Dusty on
Yep.
that map last night. and up against Alaska, who are undefeated on Nuke, the premier team on that map in this tournament, you can't take that risk, because if you play Alaska on Nuke, that's a map gone.
Yeah.
Simple as. So you
Simple
have
as
to
that.
take the risk.
Mirage, though, is going to be very 50-50 if you think about it, because obviously everybody and their grandma knows Mirage. So it's very much who's going to be most awake and prepped for that match. So do you see CAD picking up their map?
The thing about Mirage is it's been done to death. It's never going to be a punish pick, and I think just because every team has got so many reps in it, every team knows it so well. I think it will be based more off individual skill and to be honest, I'd say that favors Alaska. So, and then the train pick coming out from the British and Irish mix.
Yeah. It's a bit of a surprise. They actually did lose 16-14 to 8 Sins, but weren't they actually quite happy with the performance and in that, I believe, or?
I mean, coming away with a loss when you are favourites, I don't think you can ever be happy with it. But
I mean, not wrong.
It was a very close game. It's a very strong 8 Sins team. So I feel with Nuke gone, like in this veto, Train potentially the next best option.
I mean, obviously 8 Sins already waiting for them, so not surprised that they decide to bring out Train. Don't think CAD maybe will be ready for that, but then again, we never know. I think that's the beauty in this. And then just in case, we got Mirage just sprinkled in at the end there.
Yeah. Green Mirage. So.
Yeah, exactly. So do you think Ancient, do we get there? I would maybe like to get there, but something tells me that, as you said, it's so important for Alaska to win this game, and they're probably taking it serious. They maybe had an early night. I think this is a 2-0 win. I don't want to hate, because the CAD players seem pretty chill, and they gave us an absolute banger of a series yesterday. But it's Alaska. It's just that name value.
I think just with the way that this tournament has panned out, it seems like everything is making it as hard as possible for CAD. And I think with just the amount stacked against them, I do think I'd like to see it go all the way. And I kind of like to see an upset and see CAD potentially on that stage. But I can't see it, unfortunately. I think Alaska could close this in 2.
I do love an underdog story, and honestly, it's practically all written out. Losing to these guys, making, the trek through that lower bracket, it would be insane if they do beat Alaska.
It would be a hell of a story.
I think they would make for some pretty interesting scenes, but obviously, we're still waiting for things to get underway, so just from a personal note, how has this epic been for you? Obviously, me and you were complete newbies here, so how has the experience been?
I mean, first epic, and it's been absolutely amazing. So
I'm sure we'll probably touch on it on the end of the stream, but
yeah, I'd like to take a little bit of a break and just say, production team standing behind the camera, we absolutely love all of you guys. You've been absolutely amazing. So and they've made it as amazing as possible, as brilliant as they can for us.
Yeah, they've done a very good job, especially for yesterday. I mean, you can only imagine just 10, 12 hours plus grinding away behind there, and through the tech issues, through everything happening with the players and stuff. So I think it has been all going pretty well, and yeah, I mean, I don't even know what else to say. I mean, Alaska,
we are just kind of stalling for time and waiting for the players to start we'll get into
well,
the
actually, we can probably touch more on the players, because obviously I only just briefly touched on Onder and Xenon, but Alaska, we didn't actually bring that up. Who do we look out? Who are the main threats of this Alaska team?
Tree has been absolutely sensational from the majority of this tournament. The pickup from Gamer Legion Academy, obviously the very interesting interview came out yesterday with him saying he potentially regrets that decision to move to GL. But the Alaska team, like ex-Verdant, they've been after him for a while. And finally getting to him, it seems to have clicked to perfection. And I think this has been an absolutely brilliant move for him and for the core of Alaska.
Of course, and they are still orgless, so I think winning this event will definitely, have the spotlight on them. So what do you think, obviously, if we're looking at the short term, let's look a bit in long term here. If Alaska do win this game, and then they do go on to win the final potentially, those players, what do you think it means to them?
It just allows them to expand opportunities. As we said, with the current VRS ranking system, the more points you get, the more invites you get, and the more opportunities you get to make a name for yourself. And if they can secure org backing, then I think and I think they are entirely deserving of that as well. They have been
Mm,
grinding at this for so long as a core. Obviously, the main core of this team, back-to-back Epic Land champions, reigning
very true.
UKIC Division 1 champions. They have been dominating the UK scene for a while. And
Just hope that there's not a lot
and
of competition nowadays.
yeah, right. We don't talk
We
about
don't talk
the,
about that.
we
We
don't
don't
talk
talk
about
about
the org
that.
exodus at the
No,
moment in
we
UKCS.
don't. But at the end of the day, someone's got to be the shining light of the UK scene.
And Alaska have been that for
And I think
at
they're
least
very
the
much
last year.
deserved. Yeah, 100%. And for CAD, obviously, do you think their expectations before coming into this tournament was to make it all the way, or just maybe just like kind of sneak their way in?
It was always going to be a tough when you've got teams of the quality of Alaska, Antarctica, 8sins, Belfast Storm. But the majority of those teams, like some of them have fallen away. And CAD have dealt the final blow to obviously the likes of TLR, Antarctica, and of course the Icelandic boys of Dusty. They have taken big scalps in this lower bracket run. They will potentially be feeling that there's no reason they can't do an upset once more. Well, not even an upset because they are quite a high seeded
I
team.
wouldn't,
So
yeah, I wouldn't even say an upset, especially since their performances have been so
yeah.
consistent. So that's why they have made it this far, and it looks like we will finally get underway in map 1 and wing for the final time. Map 1, take it for the pistol round.
All right then, map 1, Alaska, starting on the CT side of CAD's map pick of Mirage. Do you see a little bit of util, a couple of P250s dropped over as well to the likes of Artist and Extinct. It is going to be a slow crawl into this A bomb site, but and Giraffe. It's actually the dual Berettas, not the P250. My apologies. From the underpass does get the opening kill onto Focus.
Yep, that's a good start. That's exactly what you want, Alaska. As you got Benjamin just poking and prodding outside the palace.
Yeah, meanwhile the ramp execute coming in. The bomb is now locked in towards Sandwich and dropped as Extinct from under palace. Does get one, and the Julie's going massive here. Putting a lot of pressure here on Sorex, 1 versus 3.
He had a very good series yesterday towards the end of last night. We were saying Sorex's name quite a bit. Let's see if he can replicate that on this pistol round. Obviously, I think the first pistol being the most important round, I think, in any round in Counter-Strike. So let's see if the dualies will light it up once again. Getting tagged down to 40 HP. This player close round. Going to be ready for it. Vacancy gets it. Little cheer there. That's huge for Alaska. Let's see if they can convert that and, start building up a lead.
Yeah, CAD would have been hoping to get off to a hot start as the underdog team. But unfortunately, the Julies putting pay to that idea. We do have a little bit of a break as Focus has disconnected from the server. We should get back going soon-ish.
I do like seeing how, this last year or two, just how much more integrated the dualies have been. You know what I mean? Like, back in the day, 5 or 6 years ago, you would rarely see dualies bolt unless you were just having a little gif and gaff.
It was a bit of a meme pick.
It was very much a meme.
You remember the whole meme of the Julie crab walk up banana?
Oh,
but I think the transition to CS2 and the aggressiveness of the T sides, I think having those 30 bullets on the CT side has been absolutely massive for dealing with these rushes. And it has been completely revolutionized the weapon inside of CS2.
I do agree. Extinct, very well done from him. 3-0 right now. So Control will probably more than likely just save the 2K. You know what I mean? Probably just get this Glock round gone and done, out of the way. So looking into round number 3, maybe a bit, preemptively, how do you think Control should tackle this T side, especially since Mirage, it's, as we said, very 50-50. How do you think they should tackle, trying to take on Alaska here? It's a tough question, I know,
it's
but
a really tricky one. Obviously, I've not seen Alaska playing on Mirage. I don't know the weaknesses of their setups per se.
But what type of plays do we want CAD to see? Do you want them to be aggressive, not scared, take control and not be worried about the pressure? Obviously, it's high stakes, but that's obviously what makes winners here. So,
yeah, I think you need to start isolating players on Alaska. If you try and face Alaska as a pack, they do have.
Are there any weaknesses on Alaska though?
Yeah, there can be weaknesses. Artist, although he is capable of an absolute pop-off with his AWP, he does also occasionally fade out of games. And if he cannot get himself going, and that can be a weak point. Obviously, the IGL as well, so a tilt factor might set in and infect the rest of the team.
Very true. And, oh, that's beautiful. I would wear that, I love old boots. Oh, look, there was Wing back there. Wing, look, it's you. Haha, look, it's you. Face at level 6. Haha. Oh, no, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm only face at level 8, guys. Don't worry. Yeah, no, I'm only face at level 8.
I'm sad now.
No, no, it's okay.
Do you want to do this series on your own?
I can solo cast. I've got the experience from yesterday. Oh, no, no, please don't leave me. I do need someone next to me. Why do you think Tyler hasn't arrived yet? He's probably still passed out in his bed from last night, so.
Yeah, and we do see the eco coming out here from CAD, and Deagle brought in by Onda, as well as Benjamin and Sorex.
Let's get that money farm in Alaska, you know, take it easy. We do know from yesterday, these Deagles can have those pop-off moments. And just as I say it, it's Sorex once again. He was doing it on Dust too. I spoke to him before. He had lovely shots on that map, and he's starting it off quite well on Mirage on round 2. Benjamin spots tree jumping, calls over Giraffe, give a little bit of support. But the T's, look where they're lurking.
Yeah, they are heading back towards this A site, but Benjamin falling the CT to now have all the info and will begin their rotation. Will it come soon enough though? Extinct from the front of jungle, able to get a double kill, making it a triple. One will go down, which will be beneficial for the economy of CAD. But Extinct has done basically all he needs to do. Artist will put the final nail in the coffin of this round. And,
the 9 AM start clearly not, you know, affecting him right there. That's a lovely little triple spray down. Obviously, I know it's against the pistols, but helps the confidence, helps, you know, build up that ego, and, you know, maybe we'll see him go for some little crazy stuff in the future.
Yeah, back-to-back 3Ks from Extinct so far in this game. But yeah, obviously, with the rifles now coming out for CAD, and Alaska choosing to preserve the lesser weapons for the economic reasons.
Yeah, why would they buy again?
Yeah, the CT economy is such a fickle beast that I think you'd have to play it safe as much as you can. You can't really take too many risks, or else the game will just run away from you.
Eyes on Xenan. I want to see him have a good game again once again. He very much went under the radar, despite how, you know, well he was on the leaderboard last night. So that's a very key player we got to talk about. Benjamin as well. I mean, his AWP was definitely questionable, and I don't mean that in a rude way, but his rifling was actually on point. And Giraffe getting it underway here. Nice little dink onto Focus. He's got to work with low HP for the rest of this round, which is not fun.
Yeah, Vacancy crawling into connector to heavy damage onto Benjamin. Yeah, no kills being exchanged, but damage being done by Alaska, weakening up the teeth. But Benjamin lurking through the jungle takes down Vacancy. Extinct does equalize the numbers, however. And Giraffe could have the perfect flank inside the ladder room. Extinct and Artist is not even going to let him activate. He does eventually, but Focus 1 versus 4. Bomb does have the bomb, but you're going mid, you're walking into a brick wall here.
Yeah, Dink first, last alive now. He's watched his teammates just crumble the connector. Giraffe just tagging him down a little bit lower, just torture him at this point.
Yeah, and Artist going hunting, wanting to get himself into this game early. 4-1 currently for him, and it's not looking great for CAD so far. 4 kills between the team. That's less. That's half of what Extinct alone has in this game already.
Beautiful start from him.
It is only 3 rounds. We have to caveat that. It is only 3 rounds. There is still time to grow into the series. But on CAD's map pick, and we do see the first tactical timeout being called for the T side.
I think it's just with that MR12 system, it's heavily reliant on winning those pistol rounds. And from there, obviously, you got the side effects, you know, the motivation, the morale boost, and just having more money to play with. They're already farming it up. CAD have barely gotten any kills, and this is a bit worrying. Extinct, he's already basically got like $6,000. Artist, $8,000. How fickle the CT side economy is, this is very good. And that last round, obviously with the mid play, just not really working out. I mean, that con smoke didn't really go deep enough, and Artist just completely exploited that. And all of Alaska just converged on that mid position, and, you know, CAD were just caught in crossfire.
Yeah, CAD seemed to, in these early rounds, seems to be committing heavy bodies towards mid to try and draw out some of the Alaska players, but Alaska are just meeting them and taking the gunfights and winning them. So maybe a little bit of change of plan here for CAD.
That's very true, as once again, the Eagles and Tech-9s come out, and this time it looks like they just want to default this towards this A side. We've got some smokes lined up, but Alaska have a little, you know, inkling that something could potentially come their way. And Extinct, eyes on you once again, fella. Can you continue that good start? Him and Artist doubling up here. Under does catch out Extinct, so that's his first death now as the team converge on this bomb site. Lovely flash from Giraffe. Vacancy getting the double. Make that the triple. 4-0 start, and Alaska asserting their dominance.
Such a cheeky little smoke push there from Vacancy, getting right behind the T's and catching them out brilliantly. A cheeky 3K for him.
Stewie 2K, is that you?
Yeah, a little bit of a smoke criminal play there. Yeah, CAD, it doesn't seem like anything they're doing is working right now.
It's fine though, it was the pistol round. Obviously, I think their main thing was getting that bomb down, but regardless, because of that max loss bonus now, we get to see the mighty Benjamin on the orb. As we see, nice little boost more. Can he hit the shot? He cannot. That would have been a huge pick to work with. So they have to remain with his 5-on-5. And Extinct is tempting. I did talk about him playing a little bit aggressive. You got him playing close ramp here. This would be really good info for Alaska. And he's actually edging a bit more closer. Yeah, jiggling here. Throws down the smoke. Very well done.
Yeah, getting the information, tucking back, not giving away his life unnecessarily. Very disciplined play there from Extinct, despite the fact he very clearly seems to be feeling it so far this game.
Absolutely, and Zenan is thinking about it. It looked like he was going to swing that, but no. Opts not to, thankfully. That would have ended really badly.
Yeah,
but Extinct.
Artist pushing to Palace as well. Goes meant to catch out under. This double site aggression from Alaska paying off massively. Artist cleaning up Sorex as well. CAD falling by the wayside. Benjamin's orb, the only remaining presence.
Oh dear, Wing. This is falling apart for CAD. That late night, I feel like really has had an impact. At least I know it has on me. I barely slept. You can only imagine for them using that much brain power to concentrate and get it over the line. It's a bit sad, but this has gone completely flat 5 rounds in. Benjamin, try and save the orb, but you got Vacancy here with the FAMAS, but nice little quick shot. So reaction's still there for Benjamin. We got Tree playing in front of the smoke.
Yeah, Tree not had to be involved for the last 4 rounds and does finally make his mark in this game. Onto the board.
He had
1 and 0.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it does pick up the AWP to be dropped over to Artist. Not that he really needs the drop. 10K in his bank balance despite the buy.
And yeah, we still have 2 players on CAD with no kills. The strat's been kind of falling flat. I mean, there is an idea on the server. It very much is coming down to Alaska hitting these nutty shots. Extinct already double his rounds and kills.
Yeah, we're going to see some very fast air aggression here from the T side. Sorex will be opening onto Extinct.
Okay.
Artist caught out as well with the AWP. Change of place from CSD has come off big so far. Vacancy, last line of defense of this A-bomb site, but he is going massive.
Ooh.
Yeah, Benjamin does eventually take him down. Numbers do favour CAD, but not for long. Tree picking off focus. Bomb only tapped, and once Benjamin falls, Onda has so much to do. Locked into the position. The spam from Giraffe takes him down. It was looking like it was going to be their first round of the game, but Alaska, the quality there showing in the end.
Alaska trying to speedrun this, huh? They don't want to give us a nice little bit of content. I mean, it was lovely there from Sorex. Lovely double. But I believe it's just a bit too much of an overcommitment, a bit too eager, swinging out on these angles alone, no trade potential, and just one by one they fall. And Under, top rated in that last series yesterday, not much you could do, very much a sandwich in between those 2 players.
It almost seemed like they didn't expect to get that double entry.
No. Okay.
Anyway, Sorex does get the opening on
Does
Giraffe
continue.
on this occasion. Asks just to fall away, preserve his life and his big green. Yeah, Sorex once again over-aggressing, no trade potential there for CAD. Under lurking through the apartments though, is being watched very closely by Tree. He's got, yeah, looking, hunting, Under tucked around the corner, Tree jump spotting, not getting any information. We do see the rotate here for CAD to bolster this B execute.
Oh, this actually could end very badly.
Yeah, but this silent boost, it could be caught out, but Tree somehow able to escape with his life. They know exactly where he is though, and they know Vacancy was towards the van as well. Tree wants to get the first one. That's his job basically done.
Well, Benjamin's just jumping out. This is crazy.
They have to go out the window, but they're falling like flies right now. Vacancy does go down, but Tree with a triple kill to finish off CAD in this round, 7-0. This is complete and utter domination right now for Alaska. #1 seed, and they are showing why. 8sims was an upset, and Alaska making a statement that we deserve to be on that stage. We are the back-to-back Epic LAN champions, and this crown we will not relinquish that easily.
Yeah, they're taking out their anger on Cad. I feel a little bit bad. They very much want to take revenge on 8sims. And this is very much a speedrun artist, continuing his form from that last one. Lovely pick, but Xenon finally first kill on the board for him. And Sorks continuing that good form. Finally, we get to see Onder. Hold up. We're going to see a bit of a Brazil moment here, unless Artist goes crazy.
Yeah, obviously a couple of rifles brought in, but there was also a lot of pistols there for CAD. The fast play is playing off for them there, catching out Alaska once again. And this time, the secondary phase of the round, as the trades begin to come in, it does fall in the favor of CAD on this occasion, as opposed to the previous AXQ. Onder, I think
he dispelled him. Yeah,
he
knows.
Artist.
Oh, okay, he's not thinking. Okay, he's playing it safe. Obviously, I'm pretty sure he's
waiting for the support of his teammate, but Artist does go down. CAD posting their first round of this map.
My goodness. Well, it's taken a little while, and it's some heroics from Sorix, Onder, and more. Xenon, I've got my eyes on him. I'm saying it multiple times for a reason. This guy was lining up the server yesterday and practically throughout the entire day. It's taken a little while, but that first kill, let's see if it can, you know, leapfrog into something more expansive. Money on Alaska, no problem. Artist had $15,000. He's rolling in the dough. But let's see what Cad decide to do here. Continuing that form, they want to work with mid again. And we have two players looking towards this A side, so maybe an A side finish.
Yeah, potentially. We do see a bit of ramp pressure being deployed. HE not quite finding its mark towards
this is
the
huge.
stairs.
The apps push. That's great info from Alaska there. They can leave a player there, and you can already see Artist is moving that up towards short, and they can start contesting these middle players.
Yeah, this is something that Alaska have done in previous rounds as well. We remember Artist getting the double kill from the TV position.
Tree's going all the way.
Yeah, it's worked out for, as we said, it worked out for them before, and they are getting so much information. Control the defeat, being surrounded on all sides now, falling, always falling, extinct from the site, extending Alaska's advantage. Benjamin just chimed in with one onto vacancy.
Okay, Benjamin.
Double, evening up the numbers now. Okay, and CAD not out of this just yet, but do they expect Tree in mid? They have managed to escape their way onto this A site, and I think that flank from Tree is mostly nullified, expecting a player to be rotating through.
Say that, but he's
Tree
absolutely
proving me
activate.
wrong as always. An Artist closing it out. It was looking a little bit promising for CAD in the mid round, but yeah. Anyway, Caster's Curse, I said, oh yeah, that Tree flanker will be completely nullified by the positioning.
Why do you speak? Why do you speak?
Why do I speak?
That's kind of our thing. That should be just like our selling point. We love to cast a curse and jinx. We do apologize to Cad because, you know, Tree with the double there, 7-1 at the moment. And that round, a bit of hope there. Benjamin, lovely shots on both the jungle and default player. But as you said, Tree, never count him out. Very much rooted and locked in to this server. He wants his team to get this through in a 2-0 fashion.
Yeah, it's clear why Alaska were after Tree for such a long period of time. The AWP duel, no kills being exchanged, just the tag onto Benjamin.
Okay, I'm surprised. I mean, it looks like a little bit of a late reaction there. And this is a very huge fight. Sorix, he's been kind of the limelight here for Cad in getting these openings. And they can't do that again as things slow right down. But we see a bit of convergence of Cad towards this A site, and they're actually just walking out dry completely.
Yeah, vacancy occupied by the connector. Extinct playing from under has to be the first point of call. The agency does now consider a pressure and does choose to support his teammate, but Xenon opening comes quicker. And the double up as well onto vacancy. Artist left alone towards jungle.
Sometimes all you
going
need.
Down, and I think CAD finally starting to grow themselves into this game.
Yeah, sometimes all you need is a bit of a, you know, element of surprise there, and just that dry walk.
The save called. The economy for Alaska not in the greatest place. Yeah, you got Artist on 7,000, but everyone else is around the 2,000 mark. So
yeah, I do agree. Let's see if they can save these guns. It doesn't look like CAD won a hunt anyways with their money being so bad, so that will be 2 locked in. They need these last 2 rounds as well. 8-4 can be something to work with.
Yeah, but they still require a flawless remainder of their T-side for CAD, and of course you'd then have to mount the CT comeback as well.
Yeah, but those first 7 rounds really set something here, but you know, a little late bloomer could be CAD here, so we can't completely count them out yet, despite, you know, not being the favorites at all. But that's some good energy there. We hear a little bit of screaming and shouting. We only know that they're basically the only players here at the moment so early. So we'll definitely hear more of that. And hopefully, you know, I love hearing the energy of these players. I think that's what's so special about LAN, just the energy. It's such a good vibe.
Yeah, obviously we mentioned CAD having that late night last night with that game against Dusty. Finally, I think, beginning to wake up, look like the CAD that we've seen throughout the rest of this tournament.
See a bit more heavy presence here towards this A side. 4 players, just leaving Tree, just jumping Van. Life of a B player, I would know. Most fun job to have. And yeah, Control really just liking this mid. I mean, it's Mirage. You practically need mid if you want to have any sort of impact on the round. So we see a little slow crawl here, but will they expect 4 players towards this A site is the question.
Yeah, the little stack here for Alaska. Extinct caught out on the jiggle, but only 2 HP taken off of him.
Alright, Artist will be denied any sort of access with that smoke, so it throws a molly to stop something, but it looks like it just got extinguished straight away, and you can see instantly making the rotate to the wrong place, as it looks like CAD have put a bit of a timing here.
Artist double backed. He will be marking for that time. This execute does come in. Tree goes down on the site, so it has to be Artist here. Does also have the support of Vacancy, but he doesn't really need it.
Oh, yeah!
Artist with a double kill on the big green.
There he is!
A triple. Alaska up to 9. We said you didn't want Artist to get rolling. 13 and 5 for him right now, top fragging in the server. We were talking about the start Extinct got to, but Artist has grown into this game massively.
You said he can fade away in games. He definitely does not want to fade away today. 13 and 5, top of the leaderboard for Alaska. Leading by example, showing his troops that we can do this. We will get revenge on 8sins in the final. And any sort of hope for a bit of momentum there from CAD just instantly shut down. But they still have a chance. They got a decent buy on this final round. 9-3 is a minimum. And a Sorix entry is always a good starting point.
Yeah, but Artist posted up on ramp.
That's what he does!
From Artist, Vacancy chiming in as well.
Feeling it.
A presence dealt with. Solid defense there from Alaska. CAD. That's basically a third of the map gone for you, unfortunately, so you kind of have to be funneled in towards this B bomb site.
And Tree's done such a good job on this site. I mean, this is still a terrifying order. Onder is the first one to fall too, and Benjamin, he's been decent on the AWP. Let's see if it can light it up again. He misses his chance. Focus, however, maybe a bit of, you know, an opportunity here towards its A site.
Yeah, peppering Artist down very low through the wall.
Falls right back.
Yeah, Giraffe trying to support from short, and a boost being deployed into window.
All right, let's see how they play with that. We got 2 players of Alaska bunched up towards short. It looks like this lurk will be towards the A site. Let's see if Focus
Yeah,
can.
Artist tucked
Ooh,
into
the boost.
Firebox, and there are Molotovs
Benjamin's
for the
ready!
tees, and Benjamin taking off Giraffe.
He should be ready for the other player, however.
Yeah.
Obviously, he got boosted up. He obviously wants to make it to this A site.
Will they consider the Firebox player, though? If they do, then Artist will be dead.
He sees him!
He saw him. Orb shot rings out, misses. The switch is over to the CZ. Orpa versus Orpa right now. Artist
Benjamin!
does not do the job. The no-scope from Benjamin. CAD up to 3, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough for them right now. They need to have a massive CT side, and they do need this pistol round.
This pistol round is a must if we want to see a game in here. Lovely shots from Benjamin. I criticize his open. Clearly, he took it to heart, and he's hitting some lovely bangers there. Giraffe obviously tagged down. Benjamin going for the little, you know, shotgun up in that, you know, close quarters combat. And 9-3. Not the best, but in the way this game has gone, not the worst. As you said, pistol round is a must. We got a kit and a smoke on Focus, and everybody else just going for the armor on Control.
Yeah, considering the 6-0 start, Alaska got off too, then CAD have done quite well to get back into some sort of contention, but this short aggression coming out here from the CT is Benjamin picking off Artist very early into the round.
CAD started with 4 players towards his B site, so it's only really going to be focused here until Sorax comes through to take it to support him, and this will be a 5-on-4 retake. We're going to see if CAD just, group up here and just wait a little bit. And you see, they start to group up, no flashes or anything, so this will just be dry swings. Vacancy making it a 4-on-4 now, as look, Alaska take complete control of jungle.
Yeah, Onda from the murder hole has to stab them in the back.
Okay.
Does get one.
Vacancy doesn't need to commit here.
Yeah.
As the defuse comes in, he's in the smoke.
Oh, it's
Candice, he got it! He's got it! What the hell was that? That's what we need, CAD. They are really happy with that one. They're lighting it up. They're shouting in the face of Alaska.
Beautiful. From underneath Alaska's nose. Too committed on taking control of the jungle. Not aware of the kit on the site. Oh, Alaska, they will be kicking themselves with that one. But that is exactly the kind of round CAD need.
Good job from Under there. Just tapping away through the window, the jungle vent there. Keeps Vacancy distracted there and obviously getting one as well. That round was absolutely beautiful. But because of that bomb down, this round isn't secure for CAD. They need to stay locked in, and Focus nearly goes down.
Yeah, the AK is on the side of Alaska. Coming out could be absolutely devastating given the opportunity, especially against the MP9.
How's Extinct found himself here?
Already through the site. Does only go 1-on-1. Sorex underneath Palace does trade him out, but Giraffe chiming in with one of his own.
Oh, it's all falling apart.
He's been so effective on these lurks throughout the entire tournament, doubling up for him. Onda all alone, 1 versus 4.
This is too much of an order to ask.
Yeah, not with the MP9, unfortunately. It's the game that Alaska have been having. They are absolutely ready for this.
Oh dear, Under. I mean, I don't even know why you would even bother swinging. Just keep the MP9. At least it's something to take into this next round. Why would you want to, work with a pistol? Let's see if he can try and snipe an AK.
Yeah, the aggression coming out here from Artist. Onda is ready for it and does get the kill. Switches over to the AK, but he is locked into this position. Tree pushing through.
Okay, Under.
He doesn't get anything, but Vacancy in the murder hole. Under is aware of the possibility, but he's not ready for the swing from Vacancy. Alaska up to double digits. The second round force working wonders for them here.
And a complete opposite reaction from that final round. The shouts and the screams of CAD instantly turn into silence. That was a must-win conversion, and all it took was a bit of a sneaky play there from Extinct. I don't know how he even managed to get through that smoke, but caught excellent timing, and his team followed suit. And Tree continuing really good form here. Every single player on Alaska is lighting up that kill feed right now, and that's exactly what you want to see if they want to make it to that final. But Benjamin makes me eat my own words.
Okay, yeah. Just as you start, Artist puts him down. And the flying Mac-10 of Giraffe deals with Onda. Sorex does keep the numbers even at 3 apiece right now. And Giraffe is quite low, potentially susceptible to the Deagles.
See, it's still decent. Only Sorex with well, they all have armor here on CAD. So this round is very safe. We could see a bit of back and forth nature. Focus! Gets caught in the molly. Giraffe completely exploits that. Catches him out freely there. And Alaska, all they need to do is just group up here and, just take control.
Yeah, and they are going to be crawling up short. Xenan rotating off the side of the wrong opportunity.
Okay.
Deagle does take down the low HP player of Giraffe. Bringing that from the market, but Artist, the AK, besting him on this occasion. And Sorex does have the AK, but no kid, has to play it fast, and Tree is ready for it. 11-4 in favor of Alaska right now. They look like they want to speedrun this and get straight onto 8-cents.
Absolutely that. Only 2 rounds stand in their way. Look at the money on CAD. It has absolutely been destroyed. Oh, Wink. They had that chance with the pistol round. It's going to come back to haunt them.
And yeah, this is CAD's pick. We have to remember, this is CAD's pick. It looks like it's going to be, it was Alaska's, but no, this is what CAD chose to play.
It looks like they wanted to catch him out, but it looks like they're the ones who got caught out. And this round, we've seen some nice Deagle delights, but I don't believe we will see. Oh, maybe we'll see it. Giraffe he's just running around with the Mac-10. He's having
focus,
fun.
Hoping to go overlooked, but not going to be. Alaska just very thorough on their clears.
Yeah, I mean, they'll take their time. They're very methodical. This round could be no worry for them, especially Benjamin eating a bullet through the wood there in connector. Xenan Yeah.
Behind the
Bit of
short box, the
aggression.
aggression, Vacancy is ready for it. Onda does get one deagle shot in, but Artist takes him down, or takes down Sorex. And they know
Yeah,
exactly where you are on that, and they're not even going for the plant. They want the kill. They want this over now.
Oh dear, Wink. You see, I'm a fan of close games. I like seeing games go the mile. But before we did tune in today, we did say this would more than likely be a quick 2-0. I hate bringing up constantly about the late nights, but it has such a toll as a player. Just playing all day, especially with the LAN environment, it's hot, it's humid. You might go hungry. There's things, there's always these external factors that can have an impact on the players, and I feel it is having that such impact on this game. But
Indeed,
Benjamin,
we do have to remember, obviously, CAD, half the amount of sleep that Alaska probably had. They played
100%.
twice as many games yesterday as well.
Insane.
So
It's easy to get burnt out.
Fatigue has to be a factor here for CAD.
Absolutely, but Benjamin clearly showing a bit more energy. He's been the shining light of this CAD side, but it doesn't matter. There's only 4 players of Alaska. These guys can easily close it out. But Sorex, he's been decent, but Art is continuing that good form. It's only focus here to try and delay as much as he can to allow the teammates to rotate in.
Yeah, I think Focus needs to play his life right here.
Okay,
and
Onder
chiming in does take down Vacancy from the short position. I was expecting Focus to be already close
he
up in
snuck his
con
way
as
through.
well. Yeah, but lurking his way into the jungle is Artist. Giraffe,
Focus.
yeah, watching the smoke, ready for the aggression. Bait tap, drawing an aggression from the CTs, and Giraffe taking down Benjamin. Tree finishing off Xenan on the. He's been decent today, but he has so much still to do. Bomb's still not planted, tucked into the sandwich. If he can take down Tree here in the apartments, in the palace, it could be possible. But it is Tree, so.
It is Tree.
But that's the bomb drop. 20 seconds on the clock now. It's still winnable, but Tree immediately puts pay to those hopes. Alaska, a dominating performance on CAD's map pick.
Oh dear.
I'd like to be an optimist, but I can't see a way CAD can get themselves back into this one.
And the next map will be Train. Aitsons obviously did beat Alaska on it, but because of such a close affair, honestly, you can easily say Alaska are probably well versed. They're well prepared. CAD, start riding your wills. I don't think it's gonna end well for you on Train.
Yeah, it really sucks to see. We were really hoping for a fun series, a close series, but Alaska. Yeah,
I hope I hope they hear this now and they completely jinx us, and they go and start popping off. But that Mirage was just so flat. The only rounds they really won were thanks to individuals like Benjamin here with the ult there. But apart from that, honestly, their T rounds, it very much was just grouping up and just hitting these bomb sites hard. But Alaska were always prepared for it. Good detail, good spacing, and the players always ready to trade and just have their moment to shine. And they did just that, as expected of, potential winners of EPIC44.
Yeah, and against the best teams, you need all your players to chime in and get the best kills. Like everyone for Alaska was coming up massive. And for CAD, obviously, we mentioned Benjamin trying his best to carry his teams through that. We did see some big rounds also from the likes of Onda and Sorex.
100%.
But Xenan and Focus pretty quiet throughout the
Xenan
entire
was brilliant yesterday, and maybe he had that burnout I was talking about from yesterday, playing so well, affecting him in the early morning. Hopefully, just a bit of a warm-up, but on your map pick, now you're going into basically the backyard of Alaska. I don't feel confident whatsoever, and I hate saying that because I want the teams to be close games, and these complete just stumps isn't a fun viewing experience unless you're obviously a fan of Alaska. You're probably just sat there just quite happy and chuffed with yourself. Oh, look at my team just winning so easily, but we want good CS.
Yeah, we are hoping to see a bit more from CAD. Maybe take themselves outside, like in the little break that we've got coming up, have a little regroup, discuss what you can do to improve and how you can go into approaching Train. But I think it's going to take a miracle here for CAD.
Well, let's hope everyone at home is praying for CAD because they're very much going to need it. We put our hands together for them. We're going to go to a quick break. Train is coming your way. Let's go.
Take back control. Nothing to obey. We're tearing down as one. Path to the sun has begun. Don't ever be afraid. Forever our fates are made. Everywhere there's Saturdays, we have future here to stay. I'm peeling back the skin from the person I've been. Don't wanna be tied down, can you see the light? Throw your face to the stars, far away with no scars. It's written in my cards, this is my reality. This is my reality. This is my reality. I'll peel back the skin. I'm not the person I've been. We're heavy hitters, we deliver, yeah.
Never stop gaming.
Ding dong, they just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard. Ding dong, they just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard. Free up the guys, then dip out the ends. Jump in the ride, then burn out the rims. Don't stop, don't catch the boy that I'm in. Now he's on the block, hoodie up for events. Skin kept close, cause you putting on them with the tits on 10. Back in the back, that's on tap, all ready to go and jump in. Ding dong, they just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard. Ding dong, they just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard. Ding dong, 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 ding.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I will soon, soon. Knew as a child, back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my room, room. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm in a whip, so I gotta zoom. They tryna talk, they not in the room. I've been so real, I'm dead to the tomb. They in the way, they gotta move. I got a gas, they running on fumes. Told them way back, it's something new. It's me and Dan, you gotta choose. I'm taking what's mine, I'm doing fine. Don't see the vision, they looking so blind. I hit my lawyer, I don't got the time. Crossing my T's and he dotting those eyes. Don't take offense if I do not oblige. I can't relate with like none of these guys. They hit me once and I'm cutting the ties. I was so low, but I'm back on the rise, it's real. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I will soon, soon. Knew as a child, back in the
Take back control. Nothing to obey. We're tearing down the old way. Can't they see our souls are one? Path to the sun has begun. Don't ever be afraid. Forever our fates are made. Everywhere there's Saturdays. We have future here to stay. I'm peeling back the skin from the person I've been. Don't wanna be tied down, can you see the light? Throw your face to the stars, far away with no scars. It's written in my cards, this is my reality. This is my reality. This is my reality. I'm peeling back the skin. I'm not the person I've been. We're heavy hitters, we deliver, yeah.
Never stop gaming.
just like that, we are back. Nice little short break. CAD, lot of reflection to be doing within that break. Obviously, 13-4 defeat on their map pick against Mirage, on Mirage against Alaska. Wing, what went wrong? So many things.
It looked like a multitude of things. I think that it did seem like a lack of team cohesion, and obviously some players really not performing. Yeah, I hate to single out players, but Xenan and Focus really not performing, especially Xenan at the level that 100%. He showed yesterday. Not really stepping up when it matters most, and a combination of fatigue and and a tilt, I'm afraid. We did have a little bit of a chat with Sorex on the break, and from the pistol round there was a tech issue. There was a PC crash that forced
Focus got
forced
kicked out.
CASD's hand into an earlier execute than they were hoping for, and he was quite visibly frustrated with that, and obviously that will have carried on throughout the remainder of the map, which could explain why CAD were they really did not see them like themselves in that map. But unfortunately, sometimes things don't go your way like that.
Well, that is the luck of the draw. It is, a LAN. You come in expecting things to go wrong. Not everything's perfect in life, sadly. And as a player, I think if it was online, I think it would be tilting, but not to the extent as it is here. There's so much on the line. You get into a game, you've already got your plan in your mind on what you want to do. You got your game plan. You swing out, and then you freeze, and then you crashed. That's got to be so disappointing and just frustrating that you can't get into the game and you're just instantly kicked out. How do you think mentally you can even bounce back from that? It's such a challenging thing psychologically.
I also think in a normal situation it would be frustrating, but with what's on the line here, a spot on the stage, a spot to fight 8sins for this championship, as well as like the fatigue. Obviously, we've spoken about it multiple times already on this stream. I think it sort of like amplifies the frustrations caused by an issue like that. But unfortunately, I hate to be mean, you have to put it behind you. Eventually, you still have, your focus has to be on what's in front of you at the moment, and CAD letting that slip a little bit. I'd really like to see them refocus and come back and have a very strong map here on Train, Alaska's pick.
Yeah.
But I don't see it happening, unfortunately.
Neither do I. I mean, if you were to look at the stats on that first map, every single player on Alaska was pretty much 1 or 2 kills off each other. That is so terrifying. Not a single weak link on that team to even potentially, exploit on Mirage. How the hell are you going to do that on their map pick on Train?
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be a lot of pressure. Obviously, you just spoke there. Alaska, every single player contributing to that win. Whereas for CAD, it was very much just Benjamin and Sorex leading the way. And we will need some of the lesser performing players in that previous map to step up here on Train.
Well then, map number 2, ladies and gentlemen, getting underway. We could be potentially looking at the final map today, and the winner going to that final against 8sins. Wing, let's see what gets underway with Benjamin, who's actually going to be taking first contact here all alone.
Yeah.
Giraffe and Co swinging in.
Going for an aggressive play there, but Giraffe getting the best of him. Sorex is here to counter any re-aggression that would come, but Tree, these lurks, he's done them all tournament, able to get one onto Onda, and doubling up onto Focus as well. And Sorex going down as well, all on Xenan here. They look like they're just going to flood into this A site. Tree might be taken down here, and he is eventually by Xenan, but 1 versus 4. Yeah, I hate to say it, but this...
Look at this, they've got the Tower of Pisa here! Oh, what the hell? That's so distraught!
Alaska rubbing salt in the wound, pulling out the triple stack.
And they're already BMing outside this over a little couple of cheers. That's got to be so infuriating. Continuing from that last map.
We mentioned the previous opening round on Mirage being frustrating for CAD. I think that one's going to be frustrating in a whole different way.
I thought they were going to get no kills on that pistol round. Only Xenan really chipping in there. A little bit of a whiff from Tree, but honestly, I don't think he could care less. He got 2 in that round. Important frags from him. Now they secure this conversion. I see this going a clean sweep. I mean, 10-11 rounds. No offense. I'm calling it early.
Yeah, you needed Focus to get that kill onto Tree in the brown halls, but it wasn't. It's unfortunately missing his shots and not happening. But Onda does get the first kill in this round. The 5-7 ringing out and taking down Giraffe.
He was one of the only players on that Mirage that really gave us any sort of light on CAD. So starting off quite well here. He's very much stuck towards Olaf. But Sorks is in support as Alaska do come in.
The CAD do look like they want to fight for T-Con here. And Alaska almost looking like they're tempted to not give it to them, but they are just going to post Artist. But Focus already in the server
this
room,
is messy.
fighting at the stairs. Alaska, no Brown Hall's presence early, and that has locked them into this T lane area.
They've got nice presence here towards main, but Sorks seeming out a little bit too soon.
Yeah,
Vacancy
over-aggressing, and the trade's not coming in. Alaska just brute forcing their way onto the A site. And they know it's most one defender.
Benjamin.
Yeah, the double dig there from Benjamin does make this potentially possible. Vacancy, low HP, and Extinct also down to 45. The pistols could be quite almost an advantage in some senses here. But Focus going down, it has to be Benjamin.
Benjamin continuing
Ooh,
from last round.
down
Can he
Vacancy,
do
but
it?
can't quite take down Extinct. Alaska, CAD making that so close. I mean, that was almost the perfect response there from CAD, but unfortunately the quality of Extinct's able to close it out.
Benjamin continuing from Mirage. I'm glad to see that. It's very easy for a player to use up all that energy and just, you know, performance on one single map and just completely fade away as the series goes on. But those triple kills on the Deagle round does help. It was pistols, really good damage, so they shouldn't be too disheartened. Obviously, now they got to go eco one more. That's okay. Do some more damage. Get in the heads of Alaska. Don't let them control this game.
And once again, this Ivy aggression coming out by being put down by Extinct. Xenan does get one and reply onto Artist, but the numbers in the favor of Alaska, the weapons in the favor of Alaska, the map probably preference in the favor of Alaska. And honestly, with the dominant T sides we've seen as well, the side in a favor of Alaska. But Focus, he saw the head of tree. He could potentially steal away an AK here. And they are looking like they want to try and crunch into this B site. Xenan from Z.
Wait.
Yeah, this could fall away from them. Xenan does go down, but Focus has the AK anchored onto the site. Molotov will deny the rotations and allow Aska an uncontested plant on this A site.
Bit too overeager there from Xenan, clearly wanting to catch the timing and help out Focus, but actually doesn't really help him too much as he is now alone in this 1 versus 2. Surprised he's even looking into this. I think this would be a really good gun to save into the next round.
Yeah, but at some point Control Lock Delete have to start building some momentum and a focus after a very rough map 1, looking to make a name for himself and establish himself in this matchup. 2 kills in the round already, would need to double that again. And does get the first one to Extinct. And Giraffe, he's aware of the aggression coming out from Focus. Once again, a 1 versus 1 coming out in favor of Alaska. Up to 3 now. CAD very much keeping them within arm's reach. 1 alive in the last 2 rounds for Alaska. The money cannot get out of control. And now we see the rifles come out for the CTs.
CAD need to start taking a bit of, you know, start ticking off these marks here. Start worrying about Ivy. A lot of presence here from the side of Alaska towards there. I want to see this AWP now start to contest with that, because Alaska will abuse things that work until it stops working. And I say that, they completely just ignore Ivy, so you can just scratch that off, Shin. Who gives an absolute crap about what you're saying? But nice little util, good damage to get the round underway, but Benjamin's AWP does light up the server just as I said.
Yeah, and it looks like Alaska are trying to go fast towards this A site coming out of Pop Dog, but Sorex is there to reply. Xenan chiming in with the trade as well. 2 versus 4 now for CAD. We're in favor of CAD. And no real map control here for Alaska. You're in the brown halls, but Xenan already pushed up into Long Dog.
Yeah, this is a good position. Obviously, I think Alaska will be somewhat aware of the CT's taking aggression towards this main position, but this will be a good chance here for Xenan to get some confidence going. Spots in for Harvard, so that's
able to escape with his life. Funnels Alaska into this B site where Focus is ready and waiting. Trying to fight through the fire of the ramp, but Focus taking down Artist and Extinct falling as well. CAD posting their first round on train here today. Already they look like a much more composed team than they did at the start of Mirage.
Yeah, instant response on this map from Focus. Lovely to see him getting those kills on the board, starting to make a name for himself in this series. We talked about these other players need to step up, and that's exactly what you want to see. And Alaska Stuck with a scout. You got an AK, couple pistols. Control, need to be careful. They lost a conversion like this on Mirage, and that just completely, you know, just killed their mental. Right now, as I talked about, Alaska love their Ivy. We got 4 players congregating towards there, and not a single person in Control is worrying about this right now. This could go bad.
Yeah, the T is choosing to force into this one, but the CT is completely neglecting Ivy. Tree again lurking through the brambles. Yeah, this is entirely silent here from Alaska.
Benjamin's going.
Yeah, the rotate up, but Sorek swinging into it.
Sorek!
It's a shooting gallery there for Alaska. Okay, the first
though.
kill falling in the favor of Alaska, and it can be a recoverable rifle. Extinct Artist and potentially one more onto rifles, which could swing it in the favor of the T's.
Yeah, well, Control now know that pretty much the entire Alaska team is now towards Ivy. They've got to completely, they need to just circle this in and make sure you contain them and not, take them out.
Yeah, Benjamin clearing the angles but missing the shot onto Giraffe, escaping with his life, and Tree taking down Onda, walking out of T-Con. Z now the sole defender of this A site from Z.
Oh, this is always such a rough
Yeah,
position.
he has been spotted, getting spammed down. An Artist covering from the top of the train at the back, hell. And, it was looking so promising for CAD. Benjamin's AWP does ring out. Picks up an AK for himself to try and make this doable, but the positions that Alaska have fortified themselves in. Focus does walk out and take down Vacancy. Doesn't expect the second
Alright,
Focus gets the
Focus!
kill. Artist gets one to Benjamin. Focus would have to be the hero once again. Does
Focus!
get one to Artist. 1 versus 1. Tree on top of Red Train here. Playing behind the ladder.
He's going to stick
Will
it!
be inaccurate.
No, he got
baits
dropped
out the
it!
shots. Tree dropping off. Missed shot though.
Focus, it's their time!
It's their time for this defuse.
Yes,
There
it
it is! Focus! After that map 1, he was probably completely dejected. 9-3 right now, already beating his Mirage tally. He has stepped up massively when CAD need him most.
Alaska, that's a bit of a rare mistake from them. I mean, Focus catching a beautiful timing, back's turn. 1 by 1, he picks them off. And this man is trying to make amends for that Mirage. 9-3 right now, sorry. And this can be a tied game. It was very bad at the beginning, but let's see if they can maybe secure this, and we can talk about that a little bit later, as someone is lurking through the smoke.
Yeah, Giraffe already on towards Red Train, playing from the gap, but on there, taking 2 heads very early. Extinct does come in from Ivy with 2 of his own. 3 versus 3 now, and 2 rifles potentially able to be recovered here for Alaska.
This has been happening. These rounds have been so close.
Artist is already through Z. He's already in CT.
How is he stuck through? He's just got the bomb as well.
Yeah, completely unnoticed. Benjamin playing from upper seems to potentially be aware of the possibility.
It's almost like the sides are reversed. You got the CTs towards main, and then you got Alaska towards the CT side and back side. But Benjamin does actually drop the bomb. Probably doesn't know about it, but that's a good pick.
Yeah, it will have been seen on the minimap. We do see the rotation coming in here for CAD. Benjamin aggressing down the ramp. Extinct, though, great shot. Benjamin's reaction's not quite quick enough on that occasion.
3 kills in the round. Extinct is really stepping up now.
Yeah, Xenan still playing from back. Red here could potentially catch up Giraffe, but they pass like ships in the night towards this B site here. Completely undefended right now.
CAD have decided incorrectly. I don't think they saw the bomb drop, so Alaska will have free reign here, and this will be another post-plant situation. Luckily, however, CAD have focus up. Can he do it again? He's going to be lurking around. He's going to go behind them. But you do have Giraffe already thinking about this, and they're going to...
Yeah, it looks like he will be first point of contact and focus. Besting Giraffe. He is very much feeling it in this map right now. Xenan also coming in for the support. Extinct, you think he saw him on the site. Information now gathered. Extinct has to fight from 2 angles here. Xenan getting immediately on the bomb. Is there time for Extinct to chase him down for the defuse?
Oh, my word!
CAD tying it up here on Train.
Nearly the ace from Extinct. It would have been such a cruel way for CAD to lose that. But Xenan and Focus together get this game to 3-3. And CAD are fired up from that. They are livid from that Mirage. Things not going their way. They want to make amends here. This is how you do it.
And it is the two players that we've singled out on Mirage as the players who
100%.
needed to step up. They did it absolutely massively. Focus 10 and 4 right now. He looks like a completely different player.
Honestly, it's like they've completely swapped here. It's now Sorix on 1 and 6. Under's a bit, lacking behind, but Focus, Xenan, that's beautiful. Benjamin still maintaining that level. Let's see if Sorix and Under can use that, morale boost from Focus's performance.
Yeah, Artist choosing to wheel the AWP into this round and take it down towards Ivy.
Now they like their Ivy. Benjamin's gonna completely shut that off with a nice little smoke, so they'll have to delay that Alaska.
Yeah, choosing to play it quite slow here. Still trying to work out, knowing that Pop is clear. Potentially funnel their way back towards this B side, but Artist, the smoke spam, taking down Onda.
Wait,
Might have been a
what?
Artist!
Sometimes fate can be a cruel mistress, and right now, Artist is proven that it doesn't matter what Cat can do, he can do it better. Somehow, he's gotten 2 through the smoke, and once again, we got Focus, we got Xenan. Can they do it? Sorix as well. It's his time to shine for Artist.
Artist cleaning up 3 in the round for him. Missed shot, can't make it a 4th. Sorix chimes in with 1 for himself. Up to 2 now in this game. Not quite performing as he did on Mirage right now. 3 versus 2, numbers favoring Alaska. They are looking like they want to execute into this A site, but there are 2 CAD defenders here. Make it 1, make it 0. Alaska breaking the streak now of CAD, taking the lead once again. CAD level for such a small amount of time, and that 3-round streak is now haunting them. Nothing to buy into here. It's Deagles, MP9s, the economy in tatters.
You know how upsetting it is? Every time I mention this is their time to break through and cement themselves a lead, something Alaska does just completely punches them in the face. And Artist, 2 shots through the smoke with the AWP. How the hell has he done that? And look at what it's done to CAD. They have no money. They're getting lit up by the SMGs. It's all falling apart.
Yeah, Tree fighting inside Long Dog. Does go 2 before falling. Vacancy taking down Sorix as well. Focus down to low HP and on there on SMG. I think Alaska, it's sort of a formality here for the race to this round. It's just about how many guns CAD are able to take away, I think.
I'm still so upset from that last round. I was honestly so pumped up to see a potential, breakthrough with CAD. But yeah, this is the present we live in now. They have to live with that and completely erase that from their memory. This round will just be going through the motions here. 4 versus 2. Under, can he get maybe a little steal for this AK? No, he can't.
Focus does get 1 instead. Double smoke spam there from Focus. The snapping turtle biting back.
What's it with the kills for the smoke in these last 2 rounds? I mean, the 5-7 from range, not going to prove anything here, but decent damage, I suppose, so there's not too bad here. Okay, 5-3 though. We did say the T side is to be favored here. So how many rounds roughly? I'd say 5-6 for CAD here. I think there's a potential for that.
I would say if CAD can get a couple more rounds here on this CT side, they could be in a very good position to really challenge for this map and potentially send it over to Ancient.
I do agree. And I hope so. And I hope the people watching want a close game as well. I mean, maybe the Alaska bettors want this just done and, they can focus on worrying about the final. But I want a good game of CS. Artist, however, wants this game wrapped up. Sorix walking into his line of sight. And just got to be careful here, Alaska.
Yeah, he saw Benjamin walking through the smoke, and he knows he's probably posted up towards Olaf, not taking the risk of giving away the AWP, falling back to join up with his teammates. Giraffe positioned inside Pop, the aggression from Focus. Not going to really provide anything for the CTs. Yeah, Benjamin still playing behind Olaf box. Xenan does have the support from Red, but Vacancy cleaning up Benjamin.
He was always going to go down there. Good awareness.
Yeah, Onda. Very nice deagle shot. Does take down Artist. And a second one onto Giraffe as well. Tree catches off the flank of Focus, but numbers, they are favoring Alaska and CAD. It looked promising. A couple of little hero moments there from Onda, but Alaska up to 6 now. But CAD finally, after 2 rounds of working with just pistols, are able to buy into the rifles now. And
I think Sorix and Xenan, they have to.
Yeah, okay, a couple of MP9s, but
it's not the worst.
But Benjamin gets his AWP out. Hopefully, he can begin to dictate the game with that now.
Absolutely. Let's see if he can, stand up against the Artist AWP, which has been an absolute nightmare. on this map. They need at least 2 more rounds, at least to stay in contention when they switch over to that T side. Let's see what type of aggression they want to use here.
Yeah, Focus, he's been very much haphazardly pushing into these B halls every time, but Alaska meeting him with utility to push him back. Vacancy walking at a take-on, but Xenan behind him, walking through each other in the smoke, does stab him in the back. Focus playing from back plat here, back city, and Artis AWP. Great shot to take him down at an unfavorable angle too. Bomb now going down on this B site.
Yeah, this will be a very hard retake.
Yeah, Sorex could potentially catch off Extinct in the halls, but Extinct going quiet about it, playing through the drop down.
Extinct is gonna...
Yeah, easiest kill of the game so far, I think, therefore Extinct. And these 2 weapons will be saved into the next here for CAD.
Yeah, it comes from that early aggression there from Vacancy, the flash. Obviously, I think a bit worried CAD, maybe a bit too much of a, you know, a bit of a rotation and just worry about this A site. And you see Alaska just instantly step on the gas, go to that B site. What a shot from Artis onto Focus, and less like that, the bomb site falls. And yeah, from that moment, you have to think about saving because it's going to be very tough to retake. 7 rounds now. Benjamin does catch a little bit of, you know, consolation there, but that's pretty much it. A
now
consolation.
falling as well. It will just be the AWP into this round, and it's looking like dire straits at the moment for CAD after that little promising flurry with the comeback and tying the game up. Since then, it has been all Alaska. CAD have not had a comfortable buy since then, and choosing to buy in once again.
And we talked about Mirage, how equal the kills were on Alaska. They're doing it once again. It must be so infuriating that when you want to hit a site, you want to kind of pick a little bit of a weak point and abuse it. But once again, no weak point. But it helps when Benjamin's up, lights it up on the server, and Xenan as well does trade out Focus. So we do have a man advantage for CAD, so not all hope is lost.
Yeah, indeed, the B aggression has funneled the C's outside of the brown horse, but Vacancy walking through the A site, double kill. That's get taken out by Onda, 2 versus 2 now.
These man advantages are just getting completely shut down by individuals on Alaska. And Extinct spots him, I think, from above the smoke. And Xenan's going to be left on the 1 and 2, spotted out. And Extinct, once again, 15 and 5. This is absolute domination.
Yeah, just as we think, CAD getting a foothold back into this round. Alaska and Extinct in particular just putting their foot down and saying not a chance. Extinct 15 and 5 currently. Him and Focus leading their respective teams.
Oh,
and this,
dear Wing.
Yeah, 8-3 right now. Once again, a hodgepodge buy here for CAD, and realistically, they do need to win this round.
Ever since that 6th round, it's just been Alaska domination. So,
yeah, a little bit of a flurry from CAD, but normal service has resumed since.
Oh.
Yeah,
a little funny flash there.
Yeah, a little bit of a missed flash, but it's not really going to pay.
Oh, they went for the bit of the A main aggression, just, you know, try and put pressure because Alaska have been abusing it. But hello,
yeah, Benjamin, the sole defender, going down. Focus is in a position to try and support. Sorex does chime in with the kill onto Extinct, evening up 4 versus 4 right now. And Focus chiming in with 1 onto 3. 3 versus 3 as he goes down, and Sorex falling to Giraffe as well. Double kill for the long neck boy. And make it a triple.
No,
Giraffe looking to dash any CAD hopes, playing from back oil here. Xenan being surrounded on all sides, and Vacancy putting him down. Alaska a 9-round T half. It's gonna be a long way back for CAD.
I don't know if this is harsh, but that defeat in their name is looking very much real in this case. I don't see them winning this pissed round out. Alaska, from that sixth round with those op shots, mentally that's gonna be so tolling. Honestly, that is probably the most tilting thing. You win 3 rounds in a row, you do it so well, and you're mentally just in the game like, okay, wait, we can actually do this. And then your opponent just hits 2 insane shots through the smoke, and just like that, all your energy's just evaporated.
And because it was such clutch moments with only 1 player alive in the previous 2 for CAD, as soon as you lost a round, your economy was done, and they did not recover for the remainder of that half.
Absolutely, but if you're a CAD...
it's a new half now.
Yep, if you're a CAD believer, believe right now. This round...
This is the time to believe, and CAD need to go big. Giraffe with the opening onto on there in the brown halls.
The dualies.
Yeah, looking to swarm onto this A side are the pistols. Xenan does get 1 No, Benjamin does get one and trading it out.
Benjamin
Benjamin doubling up, opening it up there. Artist
He
is
knows
low
the-
HP.
he knows he's there, yes!
Box. Benjamin jumping for him. Xenan taking down Giraffe as well, and just like that, round turned on its head. All on Extinct here. If he goes fast, he could catch off the bomb, but he doesn't know that. We have the joy of X-Ray, unfortunately for Alaska. They don't have that privilege.
Absolutely, and he needs to take the long way around. He doesn't want to make absolutely any noise. Focus
Yeah,
will-
choosing to plant 4Z could be swung by Extinct if he goes fast, but choosing not to. Playing it very slow right now here is Extinct.
It's all about timings here. Can he single out any fights with Xenan? Obviously spotting him out now.
Getting the
What a
information.
shot!
Very nice shot from Extinct to take
Oh,
down
no!
Focus, and Xenan going down as well, just like that. Benjamin.
You can see he was making the
He's
look
rapping
around.
through towards camera. He's
There's
rapping
no
through towards
plan for
camera.
him.
It's not for him at all. No, Extinct. If he just sticks this,
Look,
he
he's
could
running
have time.
it.
Benjamin, position now. No, Extinct on top of the train, trying to get the vertical advantage. Benjamin
He
backing
got
up,
it!
does eventually close it out. 4K in the round for Benjamin. He was the hero for CAD on Mirage, stepping up massively in this pistol round, and that was an essential one, because if this comeback is going to happen, it has to start now.
As soon as I saw Extinct in the 1v3, I instantly knew not to write this man out of it, and he nearly showed it once again. I love the fake tap. You can see Benjamin running urgently to try and stop it, but he caught a nice little timing there, played the jiggles well, and Extinct just couldn't hit that last bullet despite the lovely shots he hit previously. However, we said this before, conversion is not secured. CAD needs to stay locked in.
Artist Scout not hitting the mark on the first attempt, and the brawl is going in favor of Alaska. Vacancy. Double kill for him to open this round up. The force buy working out thus far for Alaska. The AK recovered. Vacancy not even going to start. Let the comeback begin to materialize. Xenan very much locked in here in Ticon. Does take down Artist, but there's two players waiting to kill him on retreat, but he does manage to slip the net through the smoke.
Yeah, makes it out just in time.
Yeah, Giraffe looking towards Long Dog. Focus may have his attention distracted by other positions for the time being, but
nice 7 from
choosing
here.
to come back and clear the snapping turtle once again. The Giraffe wielding it. Does take down Focus and put so much on Xenan right now. And this is it's annoying. This is a must-win round for CAD, but it's such an impossible situation. And Giraffe 2 in the round to close it out. Alaska in double digits, CAD down to 4, and we do get a tech pause, a little bit of a breather here.
Let me take a sit down and just dissect that. Alaska, pretty well prepared there. Maybe looking at some demos if CAD had played Train in the past. Clearly they were very well prepared. Control wanted to take that early A, but they had 2 or 3 players playing around that smoke, and Vacancy just went to town farming those players. And just like that, conversion is a must. CAD have had so many opportunities to secure conversions and start making themselves known on this map. Take the reins, don't let Alaska control this game. But each and every single time, they fall away just short. It's so heartbreaking to see, because honestly, it shows in the game that they want to win. They've got passion in the way they move, the way they play, the way they're playing off each other. But Alaska are just better. And sometimes that just is the case, that your team you're playing are just better than you.
Yeah.
It hurts to say that because it feels wrong to say that, but it just is, isn't it?
Alaska are the favourites for a reason, having a very strong European campaign right now, like making multiple tournaments, going very well throughout closed qualifiers, building themselves up a little bit of VRS bank, and that is what they are here for, not only to retain the title, but to push themselves further up in those rankings, and they are so highly ranked for a reason.
I wouldn't be surprised if this tech is for the PC problems that happen on Mirage, honestly. So that's probably just another factor to add on top of that tilt. CAD, I don't know how you get back into this game mentally, let alone, tactically, because Alaska are playing you and just getting the right calls at the right time, even if it's based on luck or if there's just a fact that they know what CAD will do. They're just getting outplayed. And mentally, so many things have gone wrong for this game. They're 10-4 down again. This could be another 13-4.
Okay, we do have confirmation that this tech is not for tech, it's for a personal reason, but it will now be going back live.
Well, we get to see the tower there on the pistol round. That's always a nice little goof. But Benjamin on this round also went pretty crazy with the deagle. So a lot of pretty nice highlights so far in this game. I think a bit better than Mirage. I think this game has highlighted a lot more of the personal players here and what they're capable of. But CAD, Bit of a mixture here. You got the Tech 9, the Deagle, and armor, but
They have to go. They have no other choice, but it's such a hard decision to make. Giraffe, heavy damage early on, but is able to escape. Spree opening onto Sorex. Yeah, Focus has sort of slipped the net here, already on the B site, but Giraffe picking off his teammate inside the brown halls, and 2 players inside Z are aware of the potential of this Focus positioning. Vacancy does go down. Artist playing on top of Pink, but can't. That's a bit of a CZ moment there, I'm afraid. And Extinct bringing it back in the favor of Alaska. They should have been winning this round, and despite the heroics of Focus, it might not be. It might be possible now.
On Extinct, there is
yeah,
a possibility.
and Tree down to half as well. They are doubled up on the bomb here. Extinct choosing to fall away, play a supportive element here with those flashes.
Well, I actually do like this. Focus does have time here to play with, but obviously
yeah,
the
45 seconds
down.
on the clock. He has to try and retrieve that bomb, but once he gets it, he can sort of have the pick of a map as long as he acts quickly.
They're very much playing this on information. You got Extinct there just jiggling to see when he picks up the
Alaska
bomb. And they're going to let him take
to
it.
give a kill away, and yeah, eventually Focus has to clear something, and Tree besting him there. 11-4 now in favor of Alaska.
Money's gone.
Money is gone, and CAD. There are pistols being picked up here. 2,400 loss, and we do see a scout coming out from Focus as well. It doesn't seem like a full. Oh, and now we do see Sorex with the full commitment. And
at this point, why wouldn't you?
You
have to. You have to throw everything at the wall here. You have.
If you eco into this one, you're going to need to win 8 in a row.
And with the way Cat have been playing, I don't see that
and the
happening.
opposition of Alaska, like winning rounds out of nothing.
You need rounds
on
like this.
But Focus opening with the kill onto Artist. That scout ringing out. Benjamin picked up himself an AWP, and Tree going down, but Extinct and Vacancy. Instant replies, evening the numbers once more. And that is the AWP being dropped as well. Extinct Focus going down. 3 versus 2 now. Numbers favoring Alaska. Desperation times here for CAD. Xenan does get one onto Vacancy, equalizing the numbers, but Extinct with an instant reply on the. Will they be expecting him in Z this fast?
Clearly not. Extinct.
Yeah, Extinct back turn, not considering this at all. Does turn in time, but on there, Eagle shot connecting. 1 versus 1 now.
No armor on him, so aim punch will be a factor, but
yeah,
it will
but
be down to reactions.
He does have the 1 bullet gun, the
exactly.
AK. If he connects that headshot before Giraffe gets a chance to react, then.
I like how he's gone quiet here. He's completely killed him where he's been. Now he can be absolutely anywhere. Has he lurked around through to CT? You have Giraffe thinking about the idea, but he's going to chill out here in Con, bomb down somewhere towards his A site. He does need to make a move eventually, though. He won't have a lot of time to work with, and it will start to favor Giraffe the more the time runs down.
I do like this reaction from Giraffe, being proactive, changing up his position, and on there, too many angles to clear. Waited a bit too long. He had the info that Giraffe was towards E-Box and Pop Dog, but allowing him to reposition it, had too many angles to clear, and giving the advantage to the CTs on that position. Up to match point now are Alaska.
Are you a believer, Wing?
I always like to root for an underdog, but I can't see it happening. I'm sorry to say. I mean, we do get the double scout by here from the T's. Triple
I honestly
AK as
respect
well.
it at this point.
Yeah.
Why not try something
Basically, no util. It's going to be brute force here for CAD. Focus going aggressive inside the brown halls. Giraffe is ready and waiting for him on the ramp.
He's alone here, but Giraffe has done a lot
not clearing time. On there does reply with one of his own.
Alright, so we're back into equal numbers, but these scouts need to start going crazy.
Yeah, Ben Extinct picking off one of them straight away with Sorex going down. Xenan chiming in there with the support though. But Artist dropping the bomb as well inside of T-Con.
2 players left and a dream to get this
comeback
going.
On there's position known, and Tree rotating in to support the bomb site. Cover off. On there does get the kill onto Vacancy, but such low HP now. Tree does finish him off, but putting it all on Benjamin.
It's up to him. He's the only man.
He's been absolutely sublime throughout this series. The shining light for CAD has to shine even brighter, or he will be snuffed out along with his team.
He's got a decent timing here. Could
Yeah,
catch
could
up.
have got timing. Turns away at the wrong time, and Tree finishing him off. Alaska 13-4 victors, back-to-back maps. They are going into the final here later on today, looking to get revenge on 8sins. And despite CAD's heroics in some of the rounds, it's not enough. The quality of Alaska shining through.
This was a textbook win. I mean, despite some of the rounds that you could have seen potentially CAD, leap out and take advantage, Alaska were always ready and mentally prepared to fight back. They never suffered mentally and would always get in there. And I think this game was lost on Mirage round 1, it looks like. I think the second that, that player disconnects, mental's gone. Obviously, they showed some fight, focus in that last game, absolutely brilliant. We talked about him needing to step up, and he absolutely did. So he needs to, keep his head held high.
He had an absolutely massive turnaround
Brilliant
on
performance
train.
from
He
him.
was trying everything he could to get his team back into this game, and at the start it was working. He was very much the instrumental part in that 3-round streak that CAD had. But the quality of Alaska shining through. We did say before that it seemed like everything was working against CAD in this matchup, and that has proven to be the case. But Alaska, such a consistent performance, very solid performances all around. There's no real standouts because all of them were so good.
I don't even know who we'd give this MVP to. We've seen so many different players pop off. If I had to go off the top of my head from both maps, I'd say it's Extinct, honestly. Artist just close behind, but it's so close. Each player had their moment, so it feels wrong to give a single player an MVP.
And that is the point of it. That is why Alaska are such a highly regarded team, because every single player on that roster has the ability to dictate a game.
Absolutely. And with CAD, they made a good run. 3rd place, EPIC44. They need to keep their head held high. I think this is good proof that they can fight with the best here. So, they should, continue off this, learn from these losses, and move, and go ahead moving forward, and hopefully
it wasn't the ending that CAD were hoping for, but they can be very proud. Obviously, being forced into the lower bracket early, they had to run
what a run they had,
and
honestly.
utter gauntlet. The teams they beat off were teams they defeated. We'll do that later. The teams they defeated along the way, very highly regarded teams. Obviously,
100%.
TLR 2-0ing Antarctica, who were like
course.
a lot of people's favourites to be facing Alaska in the final. And then, of course, that absolute brawl against Dusty.
I think it was a bit of like a fairy tale, masterpiece in the making. But Alaska, just a punch in the face once again, just like when they sent them down in that lower bracket. It is painful to see, but I think this is the final we all wanted to see. Alaska and 8sins. Alaska looking for revenge, and 8sins looking to continue this form on in this upper bracket. It's going to be an absolutely insane game.
And this is something that both teams will be so motivated for. Alaska, they will want their revenge. They will want to retain. They want to do it back to back to back. The triple crown of Epic Land wins. It was 8sins. They know they can beat Alaska because they have already done it. This is going to be a very exciting final.
This is going to go all the way. I'm saying it right now. There's going to be some OT sprinkled in, I feel like, as well. It's going to be absolutely crazy. It's going to be being played on the main stage as well. So there'll be the crowd element as well, which will be sprinkled in. We'll see how that has any effect.
Yeah, I remember speaking to the 8sins boys after the game yesterday. They are so excited to be up on that stage.
It must be such a feeling, honestly, just being able to play the game you love at a competitive level on the stage in front of a crowd. That must be an insane feeling, which I wish I could feel, but I'm not good enough.
Yeah, and we do say 8sins, they are excited to it because it's not something they've really done much.
I know.
Alaska will have the advantage in that. They've been here before and done that. So it's going to be a
100%.
very exciting matchup here. Current presumed start time for that one is about 1 o'clock.
Yeah, but delays do happen. So
we have to wait for the Valorant Grand Final to finish because they are currently occupying the stage. CS better. There's a reason CS is the main event of Epic Land. Let's be honest.
Absolutely. And
anyway,
with that, I believe it's time, Wing.
This is our final Epic game for the tournament. Obviously, that game at 1 o'clock will be broadcast both on this channel and on the twitch.tv/EpicLAN. And I believe it will be Several Sheep and Waxen casting that one.
They will do a very good job.
They will do a stellar
100%.
job.
So you're in good hands. And for me and Wing, it's been an absolute pleasure. I've had such a blast at this event. Our first lands, let alone casting. I don't know how we managed to get here. huge thank you to Epic for inviting us out and, you know, kind of helping us fulfill our dreams. Hopefully, with our ads down there, you know, they're there for a reason. Do give us a follow on the Twitter. I mean, and on there, you know, we got our Twitch there, so we're going to keep
But be
streaming.
sure to be back at 1 o'clock for
100%.
the CS Grand Final.
That's the main event, so don't go anywhere. And with like that, we sign off. Thank you very much.